pictures of mine. And if I fly or if I fall, at least I can say I gave it all. And if I fly or if I fall, I'm on my
Hey, everybody joining.
Now, sissy that wow. Better beware. Ain't no tea, ain't no shade. At the same time, bitches better get out the way. I'm a fam queen, mother of the house of no shade. My pussy is on fire, now kiss the flame. And if I fly, or if I fall, at least I can say I gave it all. And if
Hello, everyone joining on this fabulous Thursday night. Hi, everybody on TikTok. Thanks for joining. We have the fabulous legend tonight, Denise Russell, the voice. So excited to talk to her.
now sissy that wow.
Give some people some time to join and we'll get started here. Thank you all for joining. Lots of tea tonight with special guest Denise Russell in the house. She's going to sing a couple of songs for us, and we're just going to have a good gale time.
Now sissy that wow.
How's everybody doing tonight on this dreary Thursday? We are glad you're all tuning in. We have the fabulous Denise Russell tonight. So excited to have her join us and talk about her drag career and everything else from good to bad and all of that. I'm not going to open with a song today. I'm going to sing one was requested, I think, last week or the week before, Valerie. I'm going to do that a little later. This pollen and this weather is killing me. My throat is dying. It hurts, and I've got some shows this weekend, so I'm trying to save it just a little bit. So I'll do a song later on for you all. But without further ado, let's welcome the beautiful and talented, the one and only Miss Denise Russell. Hi.
Hello, sweetheart. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing good. Not bad for an old man in a wig.
I hear you. I'm so glad for you to join us tonight. It's an honor and a privilege to have you here with us.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
Now we are live on TikTok as well. They just don't see you, but they can hear you well. So I guess we'll just start. How long have you been doing this?
Well, this past February, I celebrated my 40th year of drag entertaining. It's a long time. I lie and tell everyone I started when I was 6.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, weren't you on the Ark or something? Is that where you had your first performance?
Well, it was the Last Supper, actually.
Okay. All right, a little later on.
Yes.
So I remember, like, we have had so much fun through the years, like in the dressing rooms and different events and just talking. And one of my things I've been telling everybody is the stories that you have told years ago when you first started. You're a singing drag queen.
Yes.
And that's what you did. Is that how you started? Did you ever lip sync?
Well, yeah, I've lip synced over the years. My very first show back in 1981, I sang live. I got like 4 standing ovations, and I had to do encores and everything. And
Right.
but then I kind of tried to venture out and take that on the road a little bit. And what I found out was they thought I sounded a little too masculine, and I had to kind of feminize things a little bit. And I always say I sing in the key of Anne Murray. And as I've gotten older, it's the key of B. Arthur.
I love that.
But so I fed some lip sync in, but I went back very quickly to the live stuff. I don't know if you remember her or have heard of her, Meg Riley. They called her the mother of Youngstown.
Yes.
She passed back in the 90s. God bless her soul. She was well into her late 70s when she passed away, and she had performed back in the 40s when everybody sang live in the clubs. There were no sound systems.
Right.
And she said, she had told me way back when I started, she said, you're kind of a kindred spirit to the old way we did things. And she said, hang on to the live stuff. You'll make a name for yourself with that. She said, don't do what everybody else does. Be unique, be yourself.
Be unique.
And so I kind of stuck with that. And it was like, okay, and as well as I do, not everybody gets the live thing sometimes, or they just categorize you as, oh, she's just a live singer.
Right.
But it's a whole lot more than that. We're both using a God-given talent, and
Right.
and it's not as easy sometimes to feed new material in so quickly because we have to learn the music and the lyrics.
Right. That's what
it makes it a lot. It makes it a lot tougher.
Yeah, you got to keep you can't have too many drinks and all that, because you got to be on your toes. And I said that to someone today. They were saying, they had performed last night and they were very nervous. And I said, I've done that too, get ready to go on. And I'm like, what the hell was my first line of this song?
Exactly.
You just fog out, and you're like, oh Jesus, let it come to me. But but I always tell this story too. Like, when I first started, I was like, oh, I want to, Skylar was like, well, what's your talent? And I said, well, I sing. And he goes, well, no one's going to understand that. Only Denise Russell sings. And it was like when I very first started. And, and I said, well, that's what I do. I don't dance. I'm a singer. And now everyone sings. For the most
I know.
part.
I really actually love that, because that is a throwback to the really old days in the 40s when every queen in the show had to sing live, because there wasn't a sound system. There was a 3-piece combo band, and you sang regardless of what you sounded like. And that's so it wasn't until the 1950s that they started putting sound systems in nightclubs, and you could lip sync to a record. And so, we are throwbacks to the old times, and I love when they do that.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, there you go. You just said froze for a minute. So you said in the night, that's you had a 3-piece band, and that's what they did.
Yeah, they all sang live. Meg Riley told me all about that. She was like, she said, I didn't have the best singing voice, but I had to sing live to be in the review. And she worked in New York City back then.
Wow. I mean, what would they do? Like have sheet music?
Yeah, there was sheet music, and you would learn it. And she said the biggest thing was she was considered like a pony girl. She was a showgirl in the back that would do a lot of those type of numbers, and occasionally she'd get her own number. She said, but there were headliners even back then that sounded a little more feminine and could do the music of the day. But you're talking 1948, long before gay liberation or anything. And the club was mafia owned. It was called Club 88 in New York. And there were like 13 showgirls, and there were like 4 or 5 headliners that would do the main things. And then the rest were backup girls. They do little dance numbers. And Miss Diamond from that area, who ended up becoming a full sex change, was in that same review with Meg. They were like great drag sisters from the 40s. And I had visited her home a couple of times way back in the 80s. And she had the best scrapbooks. because there they were on the front steps of the club, 13 of them, all in little halter tops. They had their hair done up like Lucille Ball with the bandana and all the curls in the front. Right. And they're all sitting on the steps like this together.
Wow.
It was amazing.
I think you had told me too, years ago about when there was no bands, but you had cassette. Did you say something about stretching the tapes?
Oh, we would, yeah. Or there was a little machine that you could buy a cassette machine, hook it into your stereo. Yeah. And what you would do is you would mess with the motor in the back of the little cassette machine, and you would slow the motor down to get it into a better key for yourself, and then re-record it on a good tape player. And that's how we got things into our keys.
And now you have just about anything on the internet that you can do to change that. It's so crazy. That is.
Oh, exactly. There's programs you can buy.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well,
but you know, when I first started singing live, we sang from records because no one, I predate cassette tapes and CDs and all that. We took records. And if you were lucky, every once in a while, you could find a 45 that was a hit. And on the flip side would be the instrumental. And you would be like, oh my God, please let it be in my key. And then I could sing this song. I could take this to a club and they could put it on, they could put it on and play it. And so that's how I started singing. I actually had the album. There was an album, Ice Castles from back in the 80s. Yeah. And that was one of my big hits in the old days, was Through the Eyes of Love. And it was actually the instrumental version that was on that album.
Wow, that's amazing. We want to give a shout out to everyone telling us how amazing we look tonight. So thank you all for telling us how beautiful we look. And here, this will take you back now. This is before my time. AJ Stone, I think you know who she is. She said she met you back at the Troubadour days. Now I know that's a long time ago.
Oh my goodness, yes, the Troubadour Lounge goes way back.
Now was that where Ava Rose performed too, and you guys did productions and stuff?
Oh yes, her and Mag Riley actually did the Thursday night. They had a talent night, and that's actually where I kind of got discovered. They would do a talent night every Thursday, and it was called Drink and Drown, and you would pay $5, and you could drink all night. Can you imagine $5 got you an entire night of alcohol?
No, you're lucky $5 buys you a drink.
I know. Now you can't get a drink for that, but we used to drink all night for that. But it was a talent night, and they would take like 5 or 6 people. Ava and Mag would MC it together, and everybody would get their chance at a number. And then what you won was you won a T-shirt that said Troubadour Lounge on it, and you won 1 drink that night. That was your prize.
1 drink, and then you pay $5 and drink all night.
Exactly.
Oh, that's too funny.
But yeah, that was a big night. I mean, I can't believe how many clubs in that Youngstown area have closed. That were around back in the day, because the Troubadour Lounge was actually in 2 locations. It was on Market, both locations, but it was closer to downtown. And then it was in the last location in what they call the Uptown area. And Joshua's was right across the street, and then that closed. And then they rebuilt Joshua's too. There was Sophie's Lounge, there was Club Blue Note, there was the Mix. So many of them, and all are gone now.
Wow.
I mean, that's from way back in the day, not to mention all the clubs I worked in Akron in the old days. There is one surviving one, Terry's Lounge, 35 years.
That's amazing.
It's so funny because the owner now, Gary Reams, was talking to me online, and he's like, I think we go back to the original Terry's Lounge, which was on Market Street, and then it moved out to way out on South Main, out by Waterloo Road, and then it moved back into downtown. But they've been continuously in business for over 35 years, and I have worked there for over 35 years.
That's fabulous.
And he was a bartender back then. Now he's the owner. He says, we're the only 2 originals left from 35 years ago.
Wow, that's wonderful. You know, I know, like I've seen you at Terry's and stuff. I mean, you pack that place out, and it's not very big. You know, the stage is right there, almost on the bar. You can reach out and grab your drink. But
honey, they can sit down at the bar and reach and tip you. You don't have to get up.
But you know what? It's one of the best. Like, you know, it's just like Michael Begalia, you know, like the Funky Skunk. Those wonderful little places that love their queens and treat them well, and it's wonderful.
Absolutely. I hope he reopens too.
Michael, I hope so too. Yeah.
I know he closed when the COVID started because he didn't want to make all the, he didn't want to put all that money into it to change everything. He said, we'll wait it out. He's retired now from his day job. And he's always said, I'm going to bring it back the minute they lift the restrictions. So I'm praying because I love that little club too.
It is. It's, it's where I started, and, I call it home, and that's just, it's where it all started for myself. And Michael has been so good to all of us through the years, just for the community itself and to us Queens. He loves us Queens. So
exactly.
Yeah. So how about we have a little song from you?
All right. I'm actually going to do a little, look, I'm old, so I'm going to do old school.
Do it. Everyone will just love it. Yeah,
it's an old Brooks and Dunn. I have built a career in a lot of country music. I have veered off from that recently, and I do a lot more Broadway and some other things.
Yes.
But I started in the old country, and this is Brooks and Dunn from the 90s called Boot Scootin' Boogie, so I hope you like it.
Yes, we will love it. And I just put Denise's PayPal up. She is a working woman. Drag is what she does. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about that. But give the stage to Miss Denise Russell.
All right, here we go. It's a long lead in on this. Out in the country past the city limit sign where there's a honky-tonk near the county line. The joint starts jumping every night when the sun goes down. They got whiskey, women, music and smoke. It's where all the cowboy folk go to boot scootin' boogie. Got a good job, I work hard for my money. When it's quick time, I hit the door running. I fire up my pickup truck and let the horses run. I go down that highway to that hideaway, stuck out in the woods to do the boot scootin' boogie. Oh, here we go, dusty dog, come on baby, let's go boot scootin'. Yeah, Cadillac, blackjack, baby, meet me out back, we're gonna boogie. Oh, get down, turn around, go to town, boot scootin' boogie. We'll drink, dance break.
If you got a drink, drink it.
Bartender asked me, said, what'll it be? I said, a shot of the redhead yonder looking at me. The dance floor's hopping and it's hotter than the 4th of July. We got outlaws and laws, crooks and strays, all up making it shake, doing the boot scootin' boogie. Sing along if you know it. Oh, heel to toe, dusty toe, come on baby, let's go boot scootin'. Yeah, Cadillac, blackjack, baby, meet me out back, we're gonna boogie. Oh, get down, turn around, go to town, boot scootin' boogie. Oh, heel to toe, dusty toe, come on baby, let's go boot scootin'. Yeah, Cadillac, blackjack, baby, meet me out back, we're gonna boogie. Oh, get down, turn around, go to town, boot scootin' boogie. Oh, get down, turn around, go to town, boot scootin' boogie. Oh, get down, turn around, go to town, boot scootin' boogie.
Yes, Denise Russell. I love doing the and I'll leave your little PayPal up there for all the new joiners joining. I love doing some old school country and stuff. People really seem to enjoy it lately. The crowd
they really do.
the crowds have changed. We've talked about that on the last shows. I had Danielle Vasquez last week and Cadence Jane the week before, and then Kiana Diamond. I mean, we're performing to a straight crowd, primarily more straight crowds, and the music and what you do has changed. Have you found that out? I mean, you just went recently for your first outing. What was your experience? Because it was primarily a straight bar. Like, what do you feel?
So very much so. And the things that they connected weren't the more what I consider the gayer things that I did. I mean, I did some disco and things like that. I love the nightlife and things like that. And they were all right with that. What they connected with, of all things, was the old Patsy Cline stuff that I did. And that was the odd part to me. It was like, oh, you want the Patsy Cline? I should have put more of it in the show. I only did like two Patsy songs.
Right. And for those of you who don't know, Denise Russell does a Patsy Cline impersonation. The look, the sound, I mean, absolutely phenomenal. You do Dolly Parton, you do Winona. I love your Winona look. I absolutely love it. Hi, Logan. Thanks for joining us. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, I did a Winona number from when she was with, the Judds. Like, it was the Judds.
Oh, yeah.
And they just went crazy for it.
Absolutely.
It's wonderful. So you have been, since the COVID, doing a Wednesday night. When did you start that? You just hit a year, right?
Yeah, it was. Well, I'm actually on this coming week will be my 59th week. So we're just a little over a year. We're 7 weeks past a year, and I had to feel connected. I had to do something. It was like, okay, we're going to be shut down. What am I going to do? And I discovered how to do the live thing. I asked some younger people. They always say, if you want to know how to use your phone, ask somebody young.
Yeah, right.
So I asked some younger folks how to go live and do all that. And it was a trial and error because I didn't have good Wi-Fi connection here. So we had to get a better Wi-Fi connection. I ended up getting a better phone. So we had to make some adjustments. The funny part to me is the music I use is old school because I'm burning CDs and using them in an old boom box.
Wow.
I know.
Girl, it's all, I just got an iPhone not a couple years ago, and all my music's on there. It's like, how did we do it back then? Yeah, burning CDs every week or a couple times a week, and yeah, it was nuts.
And girl, for me, it was you load up the 45s or the long play albums and put them under your arm. You went into a club, and that's how we did it. The big trick was don't leave them in your car in the sunlight because they warped and they wouldn't play. And then we moved into the cassette tapes, and then we moved on to CDs after that. And now it's flash drives and digital, and you can play it off of your phone.
Right.
It's so hard for me to keep up with all the new technology.
You just take your boombox, girl. You just hold it on your shoulder like the 8.
Exactly.
And just sing away. Yes.
Girl, I have been to nightclubs where all they had was a jukebox, and you had to go look at it and see what you knew on the jukebox, and you put your money in, and you pushed in the number, and then you went on stage and did what came up.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Stories, it's so amazing, the stories. But back to your little Wednesday, all of you you can follow Denise. I've tagged her on Wednesday nights. Your fans, you have fans all across the nation, because you have been all across the nation in many shows, and I want you to talk about that. But your fans have really come out to support you through this COVID, and you just being there, telling stories, telling jokes, doing a cheers, doing your songs. It's been a blessing. It really has.
Well, they have been amazing, because I wasn't sure it was going to work. It's an odd medium because when you go live on the Facebook thing, all you see is your own reflection coming back at you. You don't see an audience. And you're thinking, am I talking to anybody? But then there's those little numbers up in the corner, and it's like, oh, there's 70 watching. Now there's 100 watching. Yes. And you're like, okay, they are. And then they start to comment, and it was like, oh my God, I may be onto something here. And I have some of the best ones. And the good part about it is I'm reaching so many that I knew from years ago that moved out of state, or that I met out of state, or that are at my age. That's the hard thing about being in the business so many years. I'm 63 years old, soon to be 64 in the fall. And so many of my contemporaries no longer come to the gay nightclubs. They just don't come out anymore. And I get it. Trust me, I get it. You know, if I'm not doing a show, you can't drag me into a nightclub because I'm old and I'm tired.
Right. Yes. Right.
And so they don't come out, so they get to see me this way.
Right. And that's wonderful. And who knows, maybe you'll continue to do it, you know, because it's working for those people who can't come out. So, you know, that's great. And
well, that's what I told them all, that, you know, even when I'm back in the nightclubs and performing again, that I wouldn't let them alone. I would continue to do my Wednesday nights for them.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. Earl Winters on, he says hello. He's the owner of Utopia, of course, everyone that's joining. And Denise is going to be with me on June 6th. So excited. Yes. You and Cadence Jane. I told her when she was on, we should try to do a little trio at the end. Wouldn't that be fun?
Oh, that'd be lovely.
I said, I don't know what we could come up with, but I'm sure we could come up with something.
Do you all know Delta Dawn?
You know what? That's what I told her. She goes, no, but I'm sure I could, you know, because you and I did Delta Dawn at Pride something. You just were like, come up here and sing with me. And I was like, okay.
Because it just repeats itself. I'll do the first part, the hard part. I'll do the solo part at the beginning. And when it goes into the chorus, it repeats like 4 times is all it does. And you just sing along. You find a harmony if you want a harmony. You know. And I think it would be fabulous for the 3 of us to sing together.
There it is. There it is. We'll do it. June 6th, if you live in Ohio, Northeast Ohio, or not. June 6th, Denise and Cadence Jane, who was our guest 2 weeks ago. It's an all singing drag show brunch. We are so excited about that. As soon as I heard you were coming back, girl, you know, I was on that.
I know. I felt like I was on hiatus or in early retirement. It was like, oh my God, am I ever going to get back to a nightclub?
Right.
It took so long, and I'm thrilled to be coming back. I have realized at my age that I have to slow the pace a little bit. I'm not as much pushed to try to fill every weekend anymore, because I think I'm too old for that, and I think that will wear me out faster. And trust me, I'd love to be doing this for another 10 years. But that'll put me in my mid-70s. I don't know if that's possible. We'll see. I know I've got bad arthritis in one of my ankles now. So I've had to go to flats or really low wedge heels. And it still seems to bother me. But I always said, you know, I never made a living on my looks or my body. I could always sit on a bar stool and sing to people.
That's right, girl. You can sit on a bar stool and sing all you want. Absolutely. Braden Pierce said to tell you, you are phenomenal. So
we love him.
Yes.
He loves the rose. That's his big song.
Yes. I think was that who I sang that for a couple of weeks ago? I'm not sure. Maybe he was on.
You probably did. I sang it for him too. He loves the drag shows.
Yes. So I guess
I keep drinking while you're talking. I hope that's okay.
Well, me too. Look, I got mine. I'm on number 2, I think. You know what? I love your toast. Let's all do a toast around the nation, whoever's watching. You have the best toast to give for a drink. I need you to write me some, because I get up and I'm like, So give us a toast.
I need to write them down. I have like 30 or 40 different ones. I'll write them down and bring them to you. Print them out.
Please
Here we go. Here's to a lady named Alice who used a dynamite stick as a phallus. They found parts of her vagina in North Carolina and most of her tits down in Dallas.
Cheers. For all of you know, she may be drinking out of a coffee cup, but that is Southern Comfort.
It's the old lady way of doing things. You hide it in a coffee cup and you just say, it's just a little tea. It's just a little tea.
Yeah, and I think that became famous during all this COVID stuff because people were doing Zooms and stuff. You know, I saw someone post they had like a coffee mug with like a tea bag, the string like taped to the inside, but it was wine. They just they're drinking their wine for their meetings. Oh, too funny. Well, we're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna sing a song that's requested. I'll let you take you off here so you can get up and move or go to the bathroom. Do whatever you want.
And get my old arthritic joints moving.
Stretch your arthritic legs out and have at it. All right. We'll be back with you here in a minute, dear.
All right, sweetheart.
All right. This was requested a couple weeks ago, so I'm going to do it again. Please forgive me for my voice because it's been tough. with this weather and everything else. I have my Cash App and everything up. If you feel free to want to tip a bitch, she's hungry and thirsty, honey. So by all means, let me have it. Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water. And I think of all the things of what you're doing. And in my head, I paint a picture. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess. And I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie, Valerie, oh Valerie, did you have to go to jail? Put your house out up for sale? Did you get a good lawyer? I hope you didn't catch a tan. I hope you find the right man who will fix it for you. And are you shopping anywhere? Change the color of your hair, and are you busy? Did you have to pay that fine that you were dodging all the time? Are you still busy? Well, since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess. And I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Oh, why don't you come on over, Valerie? Oh, Valerie. Valerie. Oh, Valerie. Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water. And I think of all the things of what you're doing. And in my head I paint a picture. Well, since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess. And I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Come on over, stop making a fool out of me. Oh, why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie, Valerie, oh Valerie, why don't you come on over? Oh, Valerie, 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 why don't you come on over, Valerie? Woo. Thank you all so much. Told you. My voice got it. Thank you, Mama.
I love that. Who did that originally?
Amy Winehouse.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
I don't know if anyone else has done that before. I'm going to do it Sunday at brunch.
I live for that, sweetheart.
You know what?
The only Amy Winehouse I ever did was I Want to Go to Rehab, and it was
oh my God,
it hit too close to home for me.
Yeah. Did you have a little bag? I had a little bag of pretend Coke that I would
exactly. I was throwing the air.
I literally had a shot between my boobs, like kept it in there the whole time. Nobody knew. Pulled it out and did a shot, like right in the sun.
Fabulous!
Yeah, we can do whatever.
I was actually trying to think. The last time we were together, I think, was back in 2015 at the old back room on 76.
Yep.
Before it closed. Yeah.
It's been a very long time. It absolutely has. But it's like, we never lost touch. Like we can pick back up.
Absolutely. I always adored working with you, sweetheart.
Absolutely. Me too. That is one of the things with the drag community, is that we can, everyone just comes and you can come and go and come back and do whatever and pick up right where you left off.
And so I find that in so many of the older queens that appreciate, what we've been through and the changing times and everything. Yep. Some of the younger girls think that I'm way past my prime, that I'm in my 60s now. But that's okay. There's always got to be room for the new ones. And I can't control what the young generation thinks. I can only do what I know how to do.
Right. And do it the best you can. Right. That's what I say. I was talking to, I don't remember, maybe it was Vivian Vendetta. When I took my little break, it kind of was going, drag was taking a sour spot around clubs. We weren't making money. People didn't have money to give and things, locally and things. And a lot of the queens didn't care, but these new ones coming out, girl, have you seen some of them? They're amazing.
Oh, I know. I love some of the younger generation. There's a lot of newer ones that are learning how to sing. There's, I can't remember their names, but there's a couple new ones that Valerie Valentino does a new talent night at the Inner Belt.
Yes.
On Thursday. It's actually tonight. And she's got a couple of live singers in there.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. They're amazing.
And I find that, and especially there was one who did an old Judy Garland tune, The Man That Got Away. And I was like, how does she even know that? She's 20 years old.
But she's a theater girl.
But I love that.
Yeah, me too. It's so refreshing to see the new ones coming out, and they just want to give it all, because you know what? That's what I was saying. Like, the older queens were the ones that have been called through all this, bringing the clubs back around and bringing new venue, the straight venues or what have you. That's who they reached out to, because that was the style they want. They don't always want a dancing queen to flip tables.
Well, they want someone who can hold an audience's interest and hold a show and know how to put a show together. And so many of the young ones don't know that. And I think it's odd. I'm very old school. I was raised in early 80s drag. I came out in the late 70s.
Right.
So it's very different for my generation than it is now. And I don't understand all of the new forms of drag. I don't quite understand all the bearded stuff or the real straight girls doing drag. I don't quite understand all that, but I don't judge it.
Right.
It's all an art form. Right. And God bless them all for trying.
Trust me, if I could, I would. Who was that? Shannon Barber?
Yes.
She says, I love my senior queens. I don't know if I appreciate that comment.
He's a he. And
he's a he.
He's a friend of mine from Akron, yes, and he's from the old school.
That is so fun. What, Maelstrom and Zoe, is who you were talking about?
Exactly. Maelstrom. Yeah. Actually, I have some shoes for him. I have a pair of boots, knee-high, and they're flame, and they're stacked heels. And, what am I going to do with flamed boots that are stacked heels? And they're a size 15, and I want to give them I got to get them to him.
Is that what size shoe you wear as a 16, girl?
I wear a 15, yeah.
Woo.
I know, Bigfoot.
Yeah. Well, you're like,
Bigfoot
what?
is alive in Canal Fulton, Ohio.
Yeah, right. You're tall.
Yeah, I'm 6'2".
6'2",
without high heels on.
And then another 1.5 feet for hair.
Exactly, and then the high heels.
Yeah.
The attack of the incredible 7-foot woman.
Right. Too funny. So I want you to touch on, I want to hear what you've done. I know we don't have enough time to what you've done, but I mean, you had your big shows like with Cody Collins and things like that, like that you guys had. Can you tell us some of those most memorable shows?
Yes, I've had an amazing career.
Yeah.
I mean, I've worked in over 900 cities. I've worked in 45 different states, almost 600 different nightclubs and theaters. But some of the highlights are, I joined the cast of Cowboys Lacage back in 1995 that ran through 1996 in Nashville. Probably the most incredible, talented cast I've ever been with. Cody Collins was in that. Tasha Long was in that cast. Vicki Williams was in that cast. Electra from Florida was in that cast. It was incredible. We ran for over a year in Nashville, and then I moved on to Florida, and then I ended up moving back to Ohio. I was in Florida for 6 years, and I loved it, but it never felt like home. Right. And my parents were aging, and my mother ended up dying while I was living in Florida. And a year after she passed, it was like, it's time to go home. My dad is elderly now, and he has since passed, but I was home, to be able to take care of him towards the end of his life.
Right.
And then around 2008, Cody Collins got a hold of me again. She says, girl, get your bags packed. I got a gig for us. And it ran for 6 seasons in Oregon at the Seven Feathers Casino. The most incredible time of my life. Cody and I were roommates. We had a little cottage we shared off property. And then the other 2 cast members shared a different cottage. And we worked 12 shows a week. They worked us to death. But it was such rewarding work. And the producer of the show was Greg Thompson. And he's famous for HBO things. Skin Deep, Greg Thompson back in the 90s. He booked the show, and he says, I don't know how this will go over. It's the first time they're giving drag a shot. He said, so, we gotta mind our P's and Q's. You have to be professional. Keep it away from the gay stuff. You're professional actors is what you are. And those people fell in love with us. We had a tough time at the beginning. We weren't getting crowds. But by mid-season, our first season there, we were selling out every night. 2 shows a night, sometimes 3 shows a night.
And that's the casino.
Yeah, that was a Seven Feathers Casino in Oregon. And
wonderful.
It was so funny because he said, they might have you back in a couple years. They demanded us back 6 years in a row.
That's fabulous. Wow.
And so we ran all the way to 2014 in that show.
Yeah, because you were doing it when I met you. Yeah, when I first started, you were doing that show. You guys all had your promo pictures red on.
Yes. Yes. From one of our Christmas shows up there. Yes.
We have a hello from Iowa, Gina Michaels. Hello, Gina. Thanks for joining us in Iowa.
Hello, Gina in Iowa.
Yeah. So, that is crazy. Where have you not been? That's easier. What state you said? How many states?
45.
45. So what 5 states have you not been? Hawaii, Alaska.
I haven't been to Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Vermont, and Maine. Those are the 5 I haven't been to.
You have been to Alaska?
Yes. I worked in Anchorage, Alaska, actually with we were at the 4th Street Theater. That actually was the only building left standing after the 1960 earthquake in Alaska. And it was so funny, girl. We ran there for 2 weeks. There was a big bear stuffed on the side of the stage, and I just had to make fun of that every night. That it felt like we were playing at some moose lodge somewhere. But we sold the shows out there. Absolutely. I've been to Hawaii, Lord, everywhere else. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what really is in Montana that would be fun. There's probably like 5 people.
I know in North and South Dakota, I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
Where I would book there.
Right. We'll probably get hate mail from North Dakota people and stuff.
I'm sure they'll say, fuck you, Queen.
Yeah. F you, bitch.
I'm not sure if I can even cuss on here. I don't want to get banned anywhere.
I know. You know me. I'm just like you too. We have a little bit of a sailor mouth at times.
Exactly.
But
look like a lady, swear like a sailor.
Yes, absolutely. I swear on here. I haven't gotten banned yet. So how about you sing us another song?
Okay. Now this is an old blues song from way down south, and I've changed a little bit of what this song is about into it being about the whole drag thing.
Oh, I love it.
So, all right, here we go. I'm going to push play on this. It has a short intro, so it's going to start right away. We hope. I'm going to tell you guys about drag. Drag started way down south, where the men used to put on makeup and wigs, and they'd lip sync songs to amuse themselves. And they'd go something like this here. Your mama cooked a chicken She thought it was a duck. She put it out on the table with its legs cocked up. I love you, baby. You got me running. You got me hiding. You got me running, hiding, hiding, running any way you want it. Now let it roll. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got me doing what you want me, baby, honey, what you want me to do. I'm going up, I'm going down, I'm going up, down, down, up, any way you want it, now let it roll. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got me doing what you want me, baby, honey, what you getting ready for me to do? Dance break, let's all dance. I'll chair dance. And I'll drink. Hey, hey, baby, honey, what's wrong with you? I said, hey, baby, honey, what's wrong with you? You don't treat your mama now. You don't treat me like you used to do. Hey, hey, baby, honey, you don't have to go. I said, hey, baby, honey, you don't have to go. I'm gonna pack my bags and down that road I'll go. Gonna go. Hey, hey, baby, honey, what's wrong with you? I said, hey, baby, honey, what's wrong with you? You don't treat your mama now. You don't treat me like you used to do. I'll tell you what. There's only two things in life we're sweating over. A good cheeseburger or a good piece of dick. I'd rather have the cheeseburger.
Denise
Yes,
Russell,
ma'am.
yes. I'd rather have the cheeseburger too.
Filth and vulgarity.
The person from Iowa said actually Iowa's starting to open up. Or North Dakota. I'm sorry, North Dakota's starting to open up for.
Oh, North Dakota.
Yes, for us homosexuals. So maybe we'll have to take a little road trip.
Oh, so do we have to go to Fargo, North Dakota now? Or
maybe.
I don't know if that's North or South Dakota. I guess so I'm going to piss off all the people in North and South Dakota now.
We're going to get hate mail. I do not support anything that Denise Russell is saying.
I disavow knowing her.
I do not give any. Yes.
Somebody told me to have her on the show. I don't believe it.
This is my first time meeting her. Oh my. What a fun time. Shout out to your little dog Petey. He's deaf.
Oh, my little deaf baby.
I love him.
Yes.
And your husband Jay, he's phenomenal. Can't wait. I hope is he going to be coming with you to brunch?
I'm hoping. Oh wait, no, he can't. He'll be in Florida with his family on vacation.
Oh, well, too bad.
I'm not taking the family vacation this year because I felt it important to go back to work.
Right. So we can go on.
He's gonna be in New Smyrna Beach down by Daytona, and he'll be on vacation with his family.
Oh, nice. Well, give him my love.
I will.
Absolutely love him. I always said it's funny, when Denise is an early bird.
Oh yes.
And if I am awake and my Facebook says Denise Russell has posted a post, I know it's time to get my ass in bed, because that is your Good Morning America. I'm awake. I walked Petey, and this is my plan. And what time do you get up, girl? 3 o'clock in the morning?
I get up between 4 and 4:30 just about every morning. Sometimes earlier at 3:30. But trust, honey, I'm a senior citizen now, and I go to bed by 8:30, 9 o'clock. This is look, Shady Pines is calling. It's
calling
getting close to 9 o'clock, and I'm still up.
Tomorrow I'll have a big post. I had to sleep in this morning. Mona Lotz kept me up. But no, I used to say that I would, when I first started, the girls would be over and stuff after a show, and I'm like, we got to go to bed. Denise Russell just woke up.
It's time to lay down. She's up already.
Denise is already awake. It's time to go to bed, people. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God. I've enjoyed you being on so much tonight. I can't wait to see you in a month. Is there anything you want to leave us with before you go?
Honey, I'm thrilled to still be here after 40 years and still having somewhat of a following. I know that I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I would love to work well into my 70s, God willing, if I'm able. I think we can learn a lot from our senior members.
Absolutely.
Don't just, don't shove them to the side. Don't discount them. We have something to say too. There's plenty of room for all the girls at the table. Sometimes the old ones get shoved out when the new ones come in. I just don't want to be shoved aside and thought, she's a relic from days gone by. I still have something to say, I think. And there's still enough people that follow me from time to time. So I'm grateful.
I agree. You are a talented, amazing performer who has paved the way for all of us. And I appreciate that on behalf of the drag community and the gay community. You've done so much for us. The first time I ever saw you, back to the Funky Skunk, it was it was a benefit show. Was it a bartender at 441 that had passed?
It was Miss Thing that had passed at the benefit. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yes. That was back in I want to say 2012 or 2013, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
not Alyssa Day.
No. Oh, it was a performer.
It was a performer that collapsed during. We were raising money for Mag Riley's headstone.
Yes.
And she was like the third or fourth performer, and she collapsed and died right there on stage.
Right on stage.
Harold.
Yes.
Oh God. See, a mind is a terrible thing to get a hold. Harold was his boy name.
You'll post it in a couple of days when you remember on your.
When I remember, I'll go look it up on my Facebook.
I remember I was walking out to have a smoke with some friends, and I was like, nope. I had to stop, and there you were, right there on the stage. We can. But there you were in all your glory, singing this 6 foot, probably 6'5" that day, because you had big hair. You had really big hair on, and I was like, "Oh my God, who is this?" And everyone's like, "That's Denise Russell." And I don't remember what you sang, but I just stood there in that doorway, that first doorway by the stage.
Yes,
and I was like, "Oh my God, I love her." So we can go. Let me see that again. Des Moines. We can go to Des Moines, and they have a cougar show every week.
Oh, Des Moines Cougars! Oh, girl, it's right up our alley.
I got enough leopard print and black. We can do. I know you do too. We can do it.
I'm a little more mountain lion than I am cougar, but that's all right.
Tony Genova once. I hope I said his name. That's his name, right?
Yes.
How you say it? I love him to pieces. Absolutely love him.
I love Tony. He is the absolute hands down best Eartha Kitt impersonator ever.
I know. I wish he would come back. I'm going to marry him someday. I keep telling him that. But he said one
Tony, Mona Lotz is waiting to marry you.
I mean, all you gotta do is move here. He said, what happened to Alyssa Day?
Oh, Alyssa Day was the one who passed away.
That's who it was on stage then.
Yes, Alyssa Day was her drag name. Harold, he had a heart attack on stage during a benefit show. And I thought, I would hate to go on stage, but what better way to go than serving your community?
Serving your community and doing what you love.
He checked out doing what he loved. We were all devastated. The benefit came to a stop. We picked it up weeks later.
Right.
And I know it was devastating. And then we did his memorial and for his family and everything. And I always thought, I would hate to go on stage, but in the long run, he went doing what he loved.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely. It's wonderful. Bless his heart. But I appreciate you being here with us tonight. And I know you got to get your old ass to bed.
Shady Pines is calling.
Aren't you loving that all these shows are like so much earlier and stuff now too? Like,
honey, I live for a happy hour show.
Me too. I said I'm getting home when I'm usually heading out. I love that. I love you, everyone out there. Please tune in on Wednesday nights to see Denise Russell's shows on her Facebook. You do them around, is it 7?
7:30.
7:30 on Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
She's been busy. She performed Tuesday night, last night, now tonight. Are you resting?
I'm going to collapse tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Take a little break. But absolutely. I love you so much. And I really appreciate it. And I can't wait to see you in June. And yeah, send me that information or send my name off to who you were talking about.
To Mercedes Tavern, yes. I'm going to give them all the information. I'll give you her information. And we'll get that going for you, sweetie.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I love you. Mwah!
I love you much. Thank you for having me. I've had a wonderful time. Thank you and good night.
Good night, dear. Everyone, the fabulous Denise Russell, the legend, the voice, has joined us tonight. I'm so excited to have had her. She's just amazing. She always makes me laugh. She always makes me smile when I'm with her in the dressing rooms and stuff. She always has a story. And how you saw her tonight, that's how Denise. I don't think Denise has a mean bone in her body. I've never heard her say a bad thing about somebody. She's always encouraging. She is a true example for what someone in our gay community and our drag community should represent. Just a couple things, show you real quick. Where's Mona at? Of course, May 2nd, this Sunday at Utopia Video Nightclub in Youngstown, Ohio. We have the Cinco de Mayo party. We are kicking it old school. I forgot to ask Denise if she saw, but Miss Samantha Stiles is coming out of a little retirement just to do a special show with us, along with Brianna Brooks and Danielle Vasquez. We are so excited. We just have a few tables left, so you can go to my Facebook page and see that there are tickets, where to get them on Eventbrite. It's our Cinco de Mayo Kicking It Old School party. And then on the 16th, we have the fabulous Vivian Vendetta again. I love her so much. She's my sister, my friend. Absolutely adore her, along with Rebecca St. James from Erie, Pennsylvania. And I think Danielle might be joining us as well that day. May 8th, next Saturday, I'll be at the Cove at Geneva on the Lake at 8 p.m. with Carrie Nichols and Vivian Vendetta, and I believe Dakota Cox, and I don't remember who is it? Oh, she's gonna be there. Oh, it's her? I can't ever say it. Anadonia. Anadonia Delight, love her. New queen. Blows it out of the water every time. Can't wait to do that show. And I think there's one more person I'm forgetting, and I'm sorry. I apologize for that. And then on, of course, every Friday I do karaoke at Utopia at 10 o'clock. Uniontown Provisions with the fabulous Cadence Jane and Samantha Echo on May 21st. I will be doing the femme version of Sebastian. It's all Under the Sea theme. I'm excited to join them for the first time. On June 5th, we have, ladies and gentlemen, our very first Ashtabula Gay Pride. I'm so excited about this. Yay, Ashtabula. I saw the post and I messaged these people. I was like, hello, I live here. I'm one of your queens. I want to be a part of this and help. And I joined forces with them, and it's going so well. we are so excited. If you're interested in being a sponsor for that, or you want to perform, or you have a booth, okay, here it is. It's Anadonia Delight, Carrie Nichols, and Giselle at that show. I cannot wait. That is the show at the Cove. Thank you, Nicole. And this is from 12 to 5, the Pride here in Ashtabula. All the information is on my wall. Vivian, we have Scarlett O'Hara doing a show at 12. We have a phenomenal artist, songwriter. She is an acoustic player, lesbian, who will be performing. We're going to do a talent show. If you are interested in being a part of the talent show, we're only taking 10 people. There is a nice prize for the winner of that. The drag queens will be judging that, and we can only take 10 people. If you are interested in joining that, please contact me personally. I'm the one that will set that all up for you. We also have crafts and games and unicorn rides for the kids, and storybook time for the kids. We're going to do a drag bingo, and we're also have vendors and things like that there. Free HIV testing will also be available. And then my show, Vivian Vendetta will have a show, and then my show is at 4 to 5, closing out the festivities. So we're really excited about that, and a lot of work and preparations gone into this with the committee and everything. So come out and support us. If you're an ally, if you're gay, straight, bi, whatever, come join us. It's free to come in. And like I said, there'll be vendors selling food and things like that. On June 5th, I already said that. On June 6th, I have the beautiful Denise Russell and Cadence Jane joining me at Dragon Brunch. And then June 20th is our Father's Day Dragon Brunch with Mia David, who is a femme drag queen, and Jeremiah Rosa and Jameson James from Cleveland. Jeremiah is a Youngstown local drag kings performers. They are going to bring it. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to see them. I've never met Jameson, but Jeremiah and Tipsy are family of mine, and I absolutely love them. So without further ado, I want to bring over someone who is our special guest next week, Max. And he's going to just tell you what you need to do. We're going to do some spiritual healing. Is that what we're doing? Max, get in this picture here with me. Hi, everybody. This is Max. Hi. You look so little next to my hair. I do. Can you get a little closer so that I don't look so fat and big?
I'm jealous. I wish I could have hair like that.
You can. You want to wear it later?
I mean, maybe.
You might want to.
I just wanted to say I'm super, super grateful and excited that I'm going to be able to talk next week. And there's so much stress going on. I'm a counselor, and I specialize in mind and body therapy, which is a really amazing way to get all the gunk out. We have gunk from last year and the pandemic and all the things that go with that. And it's kind of like your gutters. You have to clean out your gutters regularly. And so I'm just going to show 3 different really unique stress management techniques that I'll do with you, but you can also do on your own.
Yes.
And answer questions and hopefully just help however. All
right? Yeah. And first of all, Max helps me out tremendously. Last night, I had no voice. Right? It was Max. I had no voice last night. And he was like, let's do a lung. What did you call it? Clean out your lungs, or what did you say?
Oh, a lung meridian exercise.
Yes. And we did like this 3-minute exercise and did the hokey pokey and all that. And I was able to sing at least one song tonight. So he has done acupuncture on me and things like that. And it's just amazing. Like all of you tuning in next week, it's going to be fabulous. And Max and I are also working on a little song to do together. Yes. Max plays guitar, and I'm going to sing, and we're going to make him sing a little something, maybe too. Anything else? Like, should people prep or?
I guess the only thing is, you probably don't want to be driving or anything like that.
Well, you shouldn't be driving and watching a live video.
I mean, that's almost illegal to take some of that attention away from everything that you're providing, just ridiculous. So yeah, just have some time for yourself.
Floyd, trust me, girl. Floyd said it'd be okay with Max cleaning out my junk. I'd be okay with Max cleaning out my junk. Look, he's like,
well, he better have a long hose to clean that out. That's all I can say. I didn't mean.
Where do I
All right.
get these guests on my shows, people? I mean, Denise Russell's talking about having a cheeseburger instead of a dick and all that. Anyway, here I go, going backwards, doing the most. Where am I at? I gotta look in this mirror. There we go. It's so confusing sometimes. It's like looking in your rearview mirror. Or that, is that right? I don't know. Anyway, thank you all so much. And then what's the following week? I think it's just going to be me doing a little singing. So send your request in that you would like to hear some songs on that day. Just be me, I think. And then we'll get back at it. So remember all these wonderful things that we have coming up. I love you all. Thank you for tuning in. And God bless you. Good night.